Welcome back to another video here on Bonkers But True. If you are new and want to support what we do, please do take a second to subscribe, and in return, I will be able to continue making these videos. Can't do it without your support, so hopefully you bloody support it. Today's one's about the fake VIP bloke. So this was a fella I used to know called Danny. Worked with this fella about 10 years ago. It was an absolute bloody lunatic, and he'd always be on these mad schemes. He was always talking about getting into places, and if there was ever a man that could convince you he belonged somewhere, well, Danny was that man. So there was this time that he spent 6 months sneaking into VIP sections of clubs and concerts. He was even at a bloody horse racing event one time in the VIP section. It started off small, like most stupid ideas. We were out on a Friday night queuing up for this club in Sydney, and there was some weird name for the club. I can't remember exactly. I think it was called Eclipse or something. The queue was bloody massive. We were waiting there for about an hour, and Danny just casually goes, "Lads, I'll meet you inside." He strolls off like he's got an appointment with the owner, and we're all standing there like, is this man serious? Like, is he taking the piss? 10 minutes later, we see him at the balcony looking down at us like some crime boss. We thought he found some side entrance, but no, he just walked straight up to the bouncer, nodded like he'd been there 1,000 bloody times, said cheers mate as if he was supposed to be let in, and walked through the door. After that, it was like Danny found his calling. He started pushing his luck at every opportunity. One time we were at this massive music festival, right? Thousands of people, security everywhere. Normal people were standing at the turnstiles getting their wrist checked, the whole shebang. But not Danny. He rocked up in a high-vis bloody vest. He bought this online for $10, holding up a clipboard, not even a real bloody clipboard, just a bit of cardboard with some scribbles on it. And somehow, he just nods at the security, strolls right through the VIP entrance like he's the bloody event manager. So 10 minutes after he goes in the door, we get a text message saying, "All right, lads, we're on." Sending a bloody selfie from inside the artist lounge with a bunch of the bloody people that are performing at the festival. They've all got bloody beers in their hands. Meanwhile, we're in the crowd queuing for about 20 minutes to get ourselves a warm beer. It didn't stop there though. Danny started getting bloody cocky. He started seeing just how far he could push it. One night we were out in Melbourne, and there was this exclusive club where you needed either to be a billionaire or some washed up reality TV star to go in the door. We're outside ready to call it a night when Danny suddenly fixes his hair, adjusts his shirt and says, "Watch this." He walks right up to the bouncer, pats him on the shoulder like they've known each other for years, and says, "Boss man, cheers for sorting me out tonight." The bouncer, who's built like a brick shithouse, just kind of blinks at him, clearly trying to place him. And that's the genius of Danny. He doesn't give people time to think. He just breezes past with that kind of confidence. Only a man with no actual plan could have that confidence, you know? Next thing we know, he's inside, sipping champagne he definitely didn't pay for. At this point, he's sneaking into everything. Boxing matches, art galleries, even a bloody corporate networking event where he accidentally ended up on stage giving a speech about market dynamics or something. None of us even know what that means. He just spoke in vague business jargon for 5 minutes, got a round of applause, nicked a free buffet play on his way out. But the best one, the absolute peak of fake VIP bloke, was the Melbourne Cup. One of the biggest horse racing events in Australia. The kind of place where blokes in designer suits are throwing thousands on horses like his pocket change. Danny, of course, decides once again that we're going to get in the VIP section. But this time it's different, right? Security's really tight, tickets are checked multiple times, there's no way we're blagging it through. So Danny does what any truly unhinged genius would do. He pretends to be royalty. He finds an old tweed jacket, puts on a flat cap, and suddenly he's Lord Daniel Worthington III. He's got a whole backstory ready to go, some nonsense about being an independent horse breeder from the Worthington estate in Toorak. So we're thinking there's no way this actually works. There's real security checking names against guest lists. This is the end of his run surely. But the man just commits to it. He approaches the check-in desk like he's been personally invited, puffs out his chest and loudly declares, "Ah, wonderful to be here." The poor girl at the bloody desk, she looks at this list, frowns and says, "I don't see your name here, sir." Danny doesn't even hesitate. "Oh, that's shocking. Truly shocking. You'll want to check under his lordship Daniel Worthington III. Ridiculous administration issues lately. My father will be hearing about this." Now here's the thing. Rich people, they never want to admit they don't know somebody important. So after about 5 seconds of uncertainty, the staff panic, apologise and wave him on through. He bloody gets in. Not just into the VIP area, Danny somehow ends up in the owner's box, the bit where actual racehorse owners sit. He's rubbing shoulders with people who probably own half of Sydney, drinking free bloody champagne that's worth thousands of dollars, and nodding seriously like he knows everything about horse racing. At one point, some bloke asks him, "Which horse is yours then?" And Danny, without missing a beat, goes, "Oh yes, I'm back in Regal Thunderbolt today. Great temperament, excellent bloodline." Regal Thunderbolt isn't even bloody running. He doesn't even exist, he just made it up. He manages to keep up the act for a solid 2 hours before he gets caught. Not by security, mind you, by pure bad luck. Some actual lord recognises him from a pub in Bondi. Next thing you know, Danny's legging it out the back entrance, chased by 2 blokes in suits. We found him later hiding behind a meat pie stand, still holding a champagne flute. And you'd think that was the end of it, right? But Danny, nah. He just laughed it off and started planning his next con. Last I heard, he was trying to sneak into a yacht party on the Gold Coast. The man's an absolute bloody menace. But I tell you something, of all the people I met in my life, he might just be the craziest of the whole lot, and that is bloody saying something.